All right, so I started the live stream. Let me record as a backup. You want to start the introduction and then I'll do the roll call, so to speak?
Hey everyone, this is a leadership committee meeting for Bronx Community Board 11. Today, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. The time is 7:04. My name is Rich Reynoso. I'm the vice chair. Going to my left,
Veronica Castro, treasurer and co-chair of economic development.
Harry Santiello, sergeant at arms.
Ryan Barthel, Chair of Community Development Budget Priorities.
Derek Wallach, the co-chair of Parks. And, yeah, it's the only one chair.
Sandra Unger, Chair of the Health and Social Services Committee.
Hazel Amira. I am secretary and co-chair of transportation.
all right. Jeremy, do you want to do the roll call now?
Naomi's walking in as we speak. The only people that are unaccounted for is land use and sanitation.
Who's
So I-
sanitation?
So that's Wendy. She's
Oh,
both.
okay, that's fine.
I mean, I didn't check the text message responses if she responded, if she's coming or not, but
That's fine. So we're good?
we're good. Yeah, we have, so that means we have 11 people in person. We have we need out of 16 people for a quorum. We need 9.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Wendy on remote. Hi, Wendy.
We
And
need one more. Right? We need one more.
No, I think we have quorum per Jeremy.
Actually, no, Oral is here. Wendy's online. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And Naomi, did she get you? Oh, she's not a chair.
Yes, she is.
Yes,
She said
you're
it.
chair of ethics.
Yeah, but I couldn't pick it. I get my ways.
All right.
Yes, you're part of the committee.
Give him one, give him one.
So everybody's accounted for then.
Okay.
Alex is excused. He couldn't make
All
it.
right. So, Naomi, when you can introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm Naomi Pemberton, Chair of the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Folks online, Wendy, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Wendy Hewlett Betts, Chair of Land Use and Sanitation.
Oral.
My name is Oral Selkridge. I'm co-chair with Land Use.
Thank you. Cynthia, if you want to introduce yourself quickly.
Cynthia Rodriguez, Community Board Chair.
All right, Cynthia is under the weather, that's why she's not here. Moving on, reviewing meeting minutes, I owe that, I believe. I owe a bunch. It's on me. I hope to get this done before we end this session in June. So please bear with me.
Do we have to read it?
No, I'm not. We're moving on to the April 2025 full board agenda.
Okay.
Reach out, bring up something.
Yeah. For when it comes to which,
I think it would be good.
Not this one.
Business.
Close that.
I don't really.
Can you hear that?
yeah, we see it.
Is it large enough? Do you need me to make it larger? I
We can
can't
see
hear
it. Yeah, we can see it.
I can't.
We're good.
Okay. So April, what is it? April 24th. So it's going to be, are we going to do 6:45 again?
I'm gonna now ask Ryan about the public hearing. Are we still, we're good? How did you feel about it? I asked because, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it'll take some getting used to, like anything.
Yeah.
Sort of the challenge, right? And maybe this will come up when Sandy talks, but the bylaws did vote to instate the 36-hour rule.
However,
So so if we do that, I mean, I think we need to keep it going.
Yeah, okay.
and, you know, give people a chance to talk a little more off the cuff.
Ryan, if I may, we also discussed with the 36-hour deadline that people would still be able to sign up for the gallery at the desk.
Hold on, so hold that thought. because we're not there yet. Hold on, because the question is the time that we start.
Okay,
I'm
but,
talking- I know, hold it, don't forget that. Because I want to know, are we okay with the public hearing starting at the time that we put, which was what, 6:45?
Correct.
All right, are we okay with that? Everyone here?
I think for now, that's
Okay.
fine, because we
Okay.
only have one person who actually speaks, so.
All right, so I think leave it there. Jeremy, 6:45, we start, there'll be a public hearing. If people will come and talk, that's fine. If not.
So do you want to make, do we want to make it a specific thing or we want to continue with community concerns?
I don't have a specific thing right now. Do we have anything specific?
No, not that
mean,
I
think
know.
it's fine for open mic. I mean, I know they want us to come prepared and et cetera, but I think for us, it's okay for them, you know, for the public to come and just speak their mind.
Okay.
And if no one talks, no one talks. I mean, they'll come up at the gallery, which we'll talk about in a second, because it's.
Because even if we say, okay, we're talking about compost
Sure.
and stuff like that, then people could be, oh, but yeah, but no, I got an issue of
Yeah.
this, I got an issue. I think open
Yeah.
mic is.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay,
Share the screen again, Jeremy.
hold on. I got a registered speaker I want to put in there, but I want to make sure their contact info is not publicly available. Give me a second. Just so you can see what we got coming up. And again, this is the beauty of people registering in advance. Is that it's kind of like, you know, in some ways there's no surprises. Committee meetings are different, but full board, obviously those meetings can go very long.
Go ahead.
Can you see that?
We're good. So you want to move up?
Hold on. So you see Judith here?
Where? No, I
You
can't.
can see Robert Press in the gallery session.
You.
Right there, Judith Designer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
So she wants to speak about. She says the executive committee meeting.
We go up a bit. Go up. Go all the way up a bit. Sorry.
Yep.
Seeing something there. Go to-
6:45 Bronx House.
Yeah. So
that's
wait,
the other
what
thing.
are we? When are we doing the electeds? Aren't they first again?
Oh, wait a minute, let him, he's,
But they're not first. We're doing the gallery. We do the gallery first.
Okay.
so that they could hear what the community has to
Okay.
say.
Just thinking.
Okay. So we got that. So
Well, you had a misspelling now.
hold on. Public hearing, full board, April 24th, Thursday, 6:45 Bronx House, 990 Pound Parkway South.
Bronx House.
And WebEx meetings. I gotta double check the WebEx info. It shouldn't change though. So Pledge of Allegiance, moment of silence, reading of the conduct statement, public hearing, community concerns, gallery session, Bronx Park East, Judith Desire. Where's the typo, Debbie?
Bronx Park East, you got Park is
Yes,
lowercase
that-
and
that's-
it's an
I
E.
publish it the way they register. So that's on her.
Oh,
That's on Judith.
I'm not sure if that's correct, though. I'm sorry, I disagree. Should just correct it.
Yeah,
Correct.
if you want me to correct it, I'll just correct it.
yes, correct,
Yes,
yes.
please.
But in the future, I just don't.
Yeah, but I think we should have it.
We don't
correct.
always know, I think is what he's saying, and it's easier to have that as a rule.
Yeah, I think it's, I think we should,
It's pretty clear here.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going. Okay, electeds.
For president, etc.
Okay. Chair's report.
So this stuff I can move. Those bylaw amendments. I'm gonna delete this stuff unless Cynthia wants to state otherwise.
So bylaws, hold on now. So you had a question, Sandy.
I had two questions with, where is it, where do I?
He's gonna type it now, I think.
All right, one, we have to say that we passed motions to agree to the tweaks on that, and we want the full board to agree to that. But also, when it comes to, district manager. Section 2,
Yeah, I'll separate that out.
we want the full board to vote on, you know, what was the old 10 about you.
I'll separate that out. Is there anything else to separate though, or is that the only thing?
No, that's one. And two, the other thing that we brought up several times at the board, I don't know where we should put it, was that the bylaws committee also agreed that the gallery session sign up would be available until the time of the meeting, that they would come to the desk if needed, because maybe an issue occurs 35 hours.
We're doing both?
Wait, what?
Yeah, do both. They can
That's
sign
not-
up
That's
before.
not how the bylaws are written is the problem. Like we have
I
to,
know we
we have
could.
to revise it, present it.
Look, you folks went to bylaws, you voted on two separate issues that
No,
clash?
no, no, no.
Well, because I'm hearing it.
No,
So
one of them
what's
is
the difference between, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, between 36 hours and signing up at the table?
They have, you have both. We had both. Because the
Fine,
the
fine.
one signing up
want
at
both.
the table was something that was done, which was never in the bylaws. It was just done.
So you're saying, you're
And
gonna,
fit.
okay, so you're gonna have folks, you guys voted on having folks sign up at the table. One,
No, we didn't vote
No,
on
we
that.
didn't
That's
vote on it.
That's already in the bylaws. That hasn't been changed. That was an amendment to change. The only thing that was changed was that people have to sign up for 36 hours in advance. But the issue is that those two kind of clash. They
Yeah, they
conflict each other.
definitely
But right now, that's the way it is in bylaws.
Or one Ryan wants.
go ahead, Ryan.
So, I mean, we can pull it up, but it doesn't actually say that there has to be a sign up table at the meeting. It says that people have to sign up on a,
I think it says it,
Yeah, or-
register slip. Yeah, registry slip. or something like that. If you
But-
want to pull up. the bylaws, you can.
that doesn't have to
I
be,
think
it doesn't
have
say
the
anything
bylaws
about
up.
where it
Just
is
have
or
to-
when it is.
I thought it might be easier
Yeah.
to have it there.
The sign up sheet, all right,
Why even vote? if it's
Slip, Rich.
Yeah.
okay.
You know, Sandy?
What?
Why even
There
vote if
is-
it's gonna be the same?
Right.
Hold on, each person wishing to speak at full board meetings should complete a registration slip, which will be kept on file, yada, yada. The slip shall include the speaker's name, yada, yada, yada. Completion of the slip obligates the speaker to comply with section 12 of these bylaws.
Yeah.
So.
So what was changed was C's. You see, it says for for
Uh-huh,
remote, full board
Yeah.
meetings. We're taking out the remote part.
okay. I'm not gonna question this.
But it still allows them, right now, the way the bylaws are written, it still allows them to sign up at the full board prior to the full board on the registration slip.
I still think we just need to get rid of remote.
Well, you guys did, no? That's what she just said?
No.
Remote.
Remote.
We'll talk about that in a second. So that's,
That was the one.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other question was, we brought it up at the meeting when the bylaws met, that we would have the full board vote on what was the old, part 10 of, the district manager. About comprehensive monthly written report on issues concerning and actions taken at DSC meetings, as well as other pertinent active matters affecting the community board. Do they want to still have that in the meeting or in minutes, in the bylaws, or take them out?
did you vote on that already?
No, that we voted on it with the idea of letting the community decide what to
The
do.
community?
The
The
community,
community board. the
Oh.
So you're
full board.
kicking it to the full board to vote?
Right.
Okay.
Do they think that
Okay.
when everything in the minutes are reproduced, et cetera, is that enough to cover what's in that part?
All right, Jeremy, you want to post it up again?
Yeah, hold on. The agenda?
Yeah, the agenda, because
It's a no-brainer, but it
Whatever you
covers
want.
everybody.
Yeah.
It'll make
Those
it
are the minute, the proposed
no one.
amendments.
something.
okay. So did you get all that Sandy discussed?
Yeah, so there's two items. There's all the tweaks, basically, that includes the 36-hour thing, and then there's the thing about my report separately.
Okay, so then my next question is, that will be a link that folks can click on, right? So they can get what the.
Yeah, ideal, yes, for all the markups, because there's so many tedious
Yeah.
ones, it will
Yeah.
be this. I'll modify this, so don't ignore the wording right now.
Yeah.
I'll touch it up for publication.
Yeah, most of it's with chairperson, chair.
Yeah, no, so, cause the issue's gonna be, we're gonna have folks say, oh, I don't know what this is. What do you mean? What changes? So we have to be,
Specific.
no, I think, no, people have to do their homework, is what I'm saying, because we're not gonna give them printouts. Right, so. I don't wanna hear that, oh, I don't know what we're voting on. Okay, keep going, Jeremy. You can. Thank you.
So,
It's
I
a-
think there was some bylaw proposals that I need to add to Cynthia's report.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what those are at the moment. I think they were proposed by Naomi. Yes, no, maybe so.
The bylaws proposal that I sent this week.
Yeah,
okay.
she needs to bring it up at the full
Yeah.
board before we look at it.
Yeah, so second
Yeah,
announcement.
that's the protocol for. So
Yeah.
I'll make sure these so we gotta publish the agenda on Monday at the latest. At least the location, but usually we just do the whole agenda. So, yeah, if you could just make sure I get that right, however they need to be worded, you too, Sandy. Once I touch this up, come Tuesday at the latest, please check the website. Okay,
All right.
and then if you don't mind, Rich, then can we go to community development?
Yeah, go for it.
One second. The combining of economic development and public safety, is that going to be like an official combination, editing the bylaws, or is it like unofficial where you're just going to have combined meetings regularly?
We voted at economic development last night to combine them officially. We made a motion on it and we were gonna bring it to the full board. To see if the full board agrees, and if we do, then we'll have to propose it to bylaws.
Why does bylaws have to?
Because
It
it's
has to be
separate.
changed in the bylaws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, but I think that could be under your report, Cynthia, or even, economic development. They could just say, hey, we voted on this. We're gonna go down the path of bylaw ratification and, more to come. But I think it's fine if folks just agree to it. So.
That's fine.
So
Right?
all you have to really do is reword the bylaws, combining what the two.
It's literally
committees
those two
did.
words. It's just putting them together.
I think our thinking was if the full board agrees, then we'll continue to have a joint meeting until it's passed in the bylaws and it's
Definitely.
officially
Mhm.
one committee.
That sounds good.
All right, so I'm gonna put it here, motion that economic development and public safety continue to have. So remember, this is a joint meeting between community development, economic development, and public safety. So both committees that voted last night were represented last night. I mean, they were the ones who voted. Motion that they continue having
The
joint
motion
meetings.
last
something
night
like
was to make it one committee, not to continue to have joint meetings, so I don't
Correct.
know if that's important that you put the motion the way. it
Well,
was.
you can't, that would be a bylaw change, so you can't
All you do is take,
technically do that yet. You
but then
can
you,
continue to have joint meetings, but
Yes.
to formally merge the two, it would be a bylaw change.
yeah, so all you would do is just say economic development and public safety. We, and then add what public safety to do is to consider and just right to, and consider, matters related to crime and crime prevention and fire, et cetera, and just put it as the last sentence
So,
under,
yeah, when we change the bylaws,
under
we'll combine
economic,
the
yeah.
descriptions for each one.
I mean,
Yeah.
so are you concerned about the wording here, Veronica?
No.
What type of wording?
Motion that economic development and public safety continue to have joint meetings. If that's fine, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
And Hazel, on public safety, if you guys are okay with that, we'll leave it like that, and that'll be the motion we motion on. And then we'll bring it to, Cynthia can bring it up next month.
Yep.
On the report, and then we'll just go through the process to get the bylaws changed.
Wait, so why are we starting that at the next board meeting?
Because it has to be brought to Cynthia's attention as a bylaw proposal,
Right.
amendment proposal. She brings it to the full board. Then it goes to bylaws, it gets voted on at bylaws, and then it gets voted on at the next school board.
So next meeting, Cynthia's gonna bring it up to the attention of the full board.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
And hopefully by June, it will all be done with.
When he says next, I was thinking May.
Me too, that's why I asked.
Can I ask a question? If we send a proposal to Cynthia prior to the full board meeting, can she mention it at her chair report then, so we can maybe speed up the process?
Yes, that's how you have to. I mean, I'll just do it right here, right?
Yes.
I'll make, so bylaw proposals, bylaw amendment, proposed bylaw amendments. Yeah, so. I mean, I'll put Naomi's first because hers came first, but motion or merging of the committees. I'll tweak the wording.
And you could do both, I agree. You could say merging of the committees, and then you could say, oh, we voted to continue meeting, and then.
They will start meeting combined.
Well, they do already, but then
Right,
the
yeah.
next in May, in bylaws, then you can have the change.
Right, and then by June,
By
it'll
June,
be
it should be able
approved,
to go.
so that in September,
So-
boom,
Yeah,
Right out the gate. Poof.
it's standard operating procedure.
All
Especially
right, so
when
I'll tweak the wording here, but either way, there's a motion that. This is proposed by both committees. Why not vote on it? They continue to have joint meetings. Something like that. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Great.
Then 2 liquor licenses, no objections. Universe Cafe, which came to us in September, but they're trying to amend their liquor license or their application. No objection for Jay's Tavern, which is a renewal. And then no objection for Patricia's outdoor dining application. And then Red Bear Lounge. There's more information. I did speak to Juan about that. So there's more information we're going to try to get from them. I'm going to speak to them tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some information in time for the meeting.
Can I just go back to the cafe?
Yeah.
So you mentioned yesterday that perhaps the executive board can vote. So situation is that this guy came to us and you guys know, am I?
Well, I heard,
So the situation is that this guy came to us last year, I think sometime.
September.
And he requested a beer, cider, and
Which
wine license, the cafe.
Universe Cafe.
Universe
not
Cafe.
Universe.
Then, after he met with the committee, he thought, well, maybe I should get a full license and serve liquor, right? So in between the committee meeting and the full board meeting, he had this thought. And then he came to us and supposedly gave us like an updated application. But when we presented, when economic development presented the motion at the full board meeting, we only presented the the wine, beer, and right, so, and cider. So we only approved that. So that went to the liquor authority, and they rejected it. Then they gave him until April 23rd of this month, right, to present a full approval for the full license. So we were discussing that yesterday. We're not meeting until the 24th. His deadline is for the 23rd, and we thought Jeremy found a section of the bylaws that permits leadership to vote on the liquor license.
correct.
So I don't know if I should make that motion now, because I feel like if we can do that, then we can, save this guy and he won't lose his application.
I think we should wait till after
No
the
business.
gallery session.
yeah, wait till March.
New business?
One
Well,
motion.
there's a section of promotions on
Don't
here.
forget it.
No, I
Motion.
Cindy?
Jeremy, are you planning on hyperlinking the other bylaw proposals? And
Yeah, I'm when I get time, I will make it nice. I will.
all right,
So there's
Okay.
two proposals under the bylaws committee. And then there's the merging of the two committees, and then what Naomi proposed. And if is there anything else? It's just those two things? If there's anything else, let us know.
No, I think it's okay for now.
For what? For,
for the chair of the board.
The agenda.
for the agenda, I think we had this joint letter to the MTA.
Oh, yes.
We need to vote for that next.
For Red Bear, we don't have full information yet?
Correct.
Right, so there's
What-
Hold on, one thing at a time, but go ahead, go ahead.
sorry,
No, go ahead.
the issue with Red Bear is that the diagram that they presented to us seems to encroach on the sidewalk more than the board thinks it should, or that the committee thinks it should. So we think that they just want their current, at least I hope, they just want their current structure to be approved for outdoor dining, which would be fine. But if they want to go from the building 9 feet out into the sidewalk, that might not be fine. Right.
Yeah, cause I just Googled where it is.
Right.
I
saw it too, it's small.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, their diagram
It
says
may have
that
been
the
a typo.
sidewalk is 18 feet, but
Right.
what we saw does not look like
No.
it's 18 feet
The
wide.
sidewalk is 14 feet. So, yeah, so we need to know what it is that, we just hope that they have made a mistake in their diagram and that they're just asking for the current structure to be approved.
Yeah, there's some clarification that's needed before we can make that determination.
If we have to vote right now, we have to say no because of that
Yeah.
discrepancy.
So if you could add the joint letter to the MTA regarding to. Go ahead, Cynthia.
I'm sorry,
I should
going back to liquor license. Jeremy, you mentioned, there was a liquor license that had come to us that was either in or out of the district. What's the status on that one?
No. No, they came to us in, I forget, October, November. That is OSU Grill on Gun Hill Road, 1344 East Gun Hill Road. The committee tabled that last night, right? They're requesting a C of O. So I could put it on the agenda just so everybody's aware. How about that? We put it on the agenda just so people are aware of it. So let me share the screen again. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, if they don't.
That way people are,
we're
the
not-
public is aware that are coming to us. But I'll put it after Red Bear Lounge here. Why isn't this working? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cynthia, if they don't provide the CFO before the full board meeting, the committee's not gonna vote on it because we need more information.
Right. Okay.
But Veronica, I think it'd be prudent for us to talk about the issue of publishing these notice forms. So do you want to speak on that or do you want me to?
I meant to bring this up last night, but the meeting had gone long and I forgot.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it recently. We've been posting hyperlinks to the applications that the people are giving us. And there's private information on there. And yes, sometimes it's business wise, but sometimes they don't have business information. They put their own personal information on there. So I think it's better if we don't hyperlink them, we don't make it public, because what if they come back, what if they get harassed or somebody gets the
Right, of
private
course.
information, it comes back to us.
Yeah.
So
But
can I qualify that before people get, the ears perk up and they get concerned? So if you want, I can share one of these examples. It says business phone number, business email address. That stuff is foilable according to the State Liquor Authority. But what they said to us when we spoke to them, I think it was yesterday we spoke to them on the phone, or maybe the day before, they're like, their advice is just don't make it readily available. People want to ask you for it, give it upon request. Just don't make it readily available.
They said if we're asked for it, then we have to give it, and at that point, we can determine if we want to redact some of the information, if we feel that it's personal and not business. But that's a determination we can make at that time. And Debbie wants to have it published to the full board whenever we get the applications in. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's.
I'm fine with that because.
No. So not published. She wants it emailed out.
Well, yeah, emailed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not published. I
But
used the wrong word.
I have an issue with the privacy.
For the full board?
Yeah, I have issues with that.
What's the issue?
giving the license to the whole board? No, I'm talking about their personal information.
Not even
Can I
necessarily,
just say,
not even necessarily the personal information. Like,
Pull up app.
let's say Universe Cafe. One of the first things I did when I saw this pulling up earlier, when we were sitting here waiting for quorum, you know, I'm like Universe Cafe, where, you know, like, where is that? Because now I see an address on the
Okay,
paper, I don't
so
see an
you-
address. So
like
I
that.
want, right, something like that is fine, you know, but to the board, because like,
So you want the board to be notified of what's coming up, not necessarily the applications, but heads up of what's coming up.
right, because like the one that was put out, the one that was emailed yesterday, okay, you know,
Yeah.
I then
Mess.
Googled to see where that location is. And okay, I see that it seems to be a proper place and all of that. Unlike the one that came up to the board the other month where, you know, it was on Kruger right off of Leidig, but I felt it was too, all right, I felt it was too close to the school, even though it was more than the feet allowable. I still don't think you need a bar down the block from a school. You know, so things like that perked up my attention. You know, but so I think at least within the board, we should know, you know, where and what, you know, what's coming up as to, you know, for us to give our 2 cents.
Can I just,
I'm not on ethics, I'm not on economics, I'm not on economics, but
So, you wanna vote according to all the information you can get?
because if something's popping up in my area, I wanna know
Yeah,
versus, you know.
right,
that makes sense.
I agree with that. The other thing is this. If they put their personal information out there, you have to be very clear about that, because this comes up. This has come up before. If you put yourself out there, that's on you. I understand we want to take the extra precaution to safeguard people's privacy, but perhaps what we should do is also advise them, right? Look, your information is going to be published.
Yeah.
Is discovered through FOIL, and you know, we're trying to protect it, but if you don't want to put this information out there, then give us an alternative, you know, contact, etc.
Right, or they can tell you, please don't put your, like, give them the choice to
Well-
put their person, if they.
I mean, they have to give us some contact information, but then they can go back and get a business email and, you know, a phone number and a business. That's their responsibility is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. You know,
But
we're,
they may not know they have the option, so I'm just saying,
Yes.
just put out the option.
Yes.
So that we cover ourselves, that we gave them the option to give this information or not.
correct.
So we don't have to vote on it today, right? We're gonna talk about that full board? Jeremy?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I think it's really a matter of what the board wants. Do you want the notification forms publicly available or not? Or do we want to, because, yeah, I mean, I see both sides of the argument. Because again, this information is ultimately public and it is on the applicant. If they want to go ahead and put their personal phone number, that's their problem, because according to this, so the State Liquor Authority contact who I've been dealing with for years, a great gentleman, who's also has done FOIL work, or he's very familiar with the FOIL laws of the state. He's been there a long time. He said, yeah, this information is FOILable because, you know, if you look at the form, and I can come back there and bring a copy over, you can just click on one of the business telephone number, business email address. It's really up to you. It's really whether the committee wants it out there publicly or not, or the board.
I don't think they do want it out there. I think they said they don't want it out there, right?
Well, I personally think.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's.
I'm fine with that, but I just want it to be understood that this is an additional accommodation that we're making. It's not an obligation. That's all.
What do you mean?
We don't have an
have to
obligation
do
to like keep that information private. We're trying to do that as an accommodation, but it's not an obligation.
No, I
Because
mean,
it's
like,
FOIL.
again,
Yeah.
if it's requested of us, we
Yeah.
have to give it.
Right.
So
You
let's,
know?
But all I'm asking for
it's
is
just something.
when they, instead of just sending the email just to the economic committee.
Yeah.
You know, okay, X, Y, and Z are asking for permits. Send that to the whole board
Well-
so that this way, not necessarily the permit.
I'm telling you that the way that it's sent to us is every time something comes in,
Mm-hmm.
the application is sent to the committee as they come in.
Yeah.
So it's not one email that says such and such and such is
Yeah.
coming to the committee. Every time one comes into them, as soon as it's received by the staff, they send it to the committee. So we could get 5 different emails within the month of people that are gonna be coming to the economic development. Now, what you're asking is just notification of who's gonna be coming.
So,
You
yeah,
don't
so,
necessarily need to. see
so I
notification.
think that what we could do, Debbie, is that, but before I mean, I don't know if the staff is able to do this, but before the full economic, the full board meeting, they can send all the applications.
Yeah, I think that's the best way, to be honest. Wendy, go ahead.
So I'm just a little confused on, it's a business and they're applying for something. So automatically they're choosing to, put out their information. We as the board, we get a full packet and we review. I have seen where the community board members receive the full packet. So they have something to look at. So they have additional information. So all this blocking and stuff like that, I don't know how you're going to do it, but it's a business and they're coming to us. They can't do this at SLA.
Yeah, okay, I know, I understand that.
Where it's too many options being thrown out here. It's just black and white. It's
So-
an application.
And also-
and that's it.
Hold on, let me interject, because I think this conversation doesn't belong here, it belongs at the full board. We're not gonna vote on this today, because either way, we gotta bring it up again at full board. So Jeremy, I think you should bring this little subtopic, visibility of liquor license applications, under economic development for discussion and vote.
Yeah, yeah, when we draft the next Economic Development Committee agenda, how about we decide, Juan, talk to your committee members.
Yeah.
They want,
I
make
understand.
sense.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, Rich, but I think also we have to kind of help structure it for the board in
Well,
sense, and I think we I thought we kind of understood that as long as we're telling people, hey,
Yeah.
this is public. I think that was just my.
I think so,
concern.
hold on.
Please
So
send me things out.
let me just twist around again. I think I'm kicking it back to economic development. We'll figure it out and come back here. All right? Let's
But
keep
the only-
going.
But the only reason, Rich, it's being brought up tonight is, do we want to publish it on the full board agenda?
No,
You
and
want-
the thing is, they don't even know yet, right? So that's the issue.
So they're just saying.
What do you mean? No, this is,
Economic development doesn't know which way they want to do that.
They're gonna do it later.
But you didn't vote. You didn't vote yet.
No, not voting.
I mean, I need.
all right, whatever, all right.
For information
Yeah.
sake.
So they need to talk about it first.
So,
No, whatever you want
okay, all right, we'll talk about it later. All right, no problem.
I mean, there's.
So basically tonight, no.
No.
So basically, it's gonna stay as is as it was on the economic.
Yeah,
We'll talk.
yeah, because
These have already been published, so it's
Yeah, no,
already
yeah,
been published.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
yeah, but it's a good
We'll talk about going
idea to
forward.
talk about, but let's follow the
Yeah,
normal course.
yeah, I agree. Okay,
All right, next. Yep.
let me share the screen, hold on. So I want to make sure I get OSU Grill on there. I'll tweak up change that. Yankee Youth Leadership Award nominees. It looks like they're being approved. There are two adolescents that we need, Yankees needs more information on. Their application wasn't exactly clear. Ethics and disciplinary.
Got that info,
What's
though.
that?
I think got that info.
Harriet got some info, but not, I sent another email tonight.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get what they really need. And then we can go through the list. I can list through the names. This needs to be taken out. This is from last month. So I don't know if there's anything, any motions that were made in the other committees.
I mean, so ethics is meeting on Monday, so I think, do you need to publish this by Monday,
We
right?
don't-
36
So,
hours.
so if ethics meets and makes any motions on Monday, then
Yeah.
the earliest we could publish that would be on Tuesday.
So I mean, I think that's just the only thing that's kind of a standstill, because they meet Monday.
Yeah, fun.
Okay,
But
okay.
but there's nothing else for any of these other committees.
Not right now, no. I know, for housing, just put under that, the city of Yes came in and had a presentation.
Yeah, and I'll link the presentation like I did for the agenda.
It was a good one.
But other than that, old business, new business, conduct statement.
Presentation, me, did Parks meet?
Oh, wait, hold on. Rich, we still gotta talk about the other issue that's on the agenda for tonight.
Which thing?
The thing I've been working on since August, I think. The MTA properties, this is DeWitt Place, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's here.
Joint
the,
minutes, AMTA, DeWitt Place Homes.
But that goes under transportation or no?
No, they didn't meet this month, and this is something that's, so let me hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up so I can make sure we put it on the agenda.
Transportation.
Hmm?
How is homes? Transportation.
What?
How is homes?
How is?
Homes.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't know. Why? Sorry. I don't know.
How is
I get
it. Transportation.
Careful, Debbie. knows-
Okay, so
Does
this,
She crisped me
so
up.
do you want me to explain what this is about, Rich?
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I was contacted by a homeowner on DeWitt Place back in, I think it was August. And so I ended up doing a site visit. Maybe it was September I went. It was maybe even October. All I know is when I went, they allowed me into their backyard. I was getting bit up by mosquitoes like crazy. Like these people cannot even enjoy their backyard. They had 3 young children. As I think anytime I've talked to Cynthia about mosquitoes, she mentions West Nile, Dengue, whatever, so I went out there, I saw the problem firsthand. And then more recently we had a site visit with Councilmember Riley himself. I think some of the members of Carl's office was there. Long story short, Councilmember Riley proposed we do a joint letter to the MTA. The MTA they've not been ignoring this. I have a good contact at the MTA who's been for example, prior to this, I had already been out in this location because of the overgrowth that we got cut back. So they did do a survey for all these properties. I don't know if this is I don't know if I could I linked the letter, the proposed letter. I could share that if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to share that. Hold on.
Yeah, so people can see it.
But there's a lot of properties that are encroaching on there's a lot of properties that are encroaching on
The MTA property.
onto the MTA property. Yeah, so one of the reasons there's flooding, hold on, is because of encroachments. But it's not just that. Let me see if there's a map here. Yeah, this map isn't the greatest, but they pinpoint, the MTA pinpoints who's encroaching. And there's one property in particular that's pretty bad, but that aside, it's still an MTA issue. They need to cut back a lot of the overgrowth. They are doing work on the western side. So I'm pretty sure this runs north and south, the MTA line here. I think it's the Dyer line. Long story short, it's on the website. It's this proposed joint letter. So you got Kevin Riley already signed on, Jamal Bailey, Rita Zullo, who also did the joint site visit. Like I said, Zacaro's office was there, and then quite a few of the homeowners. But they want to see, what's that?
The picture, can we see the picture?
You can't see that right now?
We got the signature.
Okay, wait. This picture?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So that belongs to MTA.
Yes.
And the house
This is overgrowth, but you didn't even see the worst of it. There's it's like almost swamp in some parts. I can try to locate some of those photos and send them to you. Publish them.
Do you want us to vote on that in this meeting? We can in
Well,
motion.
Councilmember Riley's office is requesting a vote, so they can send this out sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
but-
no, yeah, let's do that motions. I'll bring it up. I'll motion it to approve the letter. Approve of signing on to the letter.
So,
We
Yeah,
can,
if we vote on it, then I can sign it, tomorrow.
yeah, okay.
Well, do we want to do it in lieu of the full board, or we want to wait? Can't
Can't they wait till next Thursday? I remember someone asked.
Yeah, yes, I asked Riley's office if it could wait. They said it could wait.
Okay, cool. So then, I'll motion it during motions. And then if people have questions, we can talk about during the galley session.
Been going on since August. So another week, never heard.
And if you want, I'll print this off for anybody right now. Do you want me to print
I
this
don't
off?
think anyone's opposed to you. I think we all understand, yeah.
But I also think if we should send it to the full board again prior to the meeting and ask them to read it,
Yeah.
because someone's gonna say they haven't read the letter and they're not gonna wanna vote, so.
Well, it's gonna be published on the agenda and we can
That's-
send out a special email saying, hey, check the agenda. And I don't want to send out the letter directly. I want them to go to the website to make sure that it's linked properly. Right? Because we've had those issues in the past. If that's okay.
I mean, as long as they can get access to the letter, because I don't want anyone.
Well, that's the idea.
they can't- they couldn't
It'll
get
be on
to
the
it.
website. It's already on the website under the agenda for tonight. We'll publish it at the latest Monday, but it's already there. So,
Okay,
all right.
yeah, because I know I read the letter on the agenda today, earlier today.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I just want to make sure everybody reads it, because how can they vote on it if they don't read it? you know?
I think we're good for the agenda.
Yeah, so then we have two motions for later on after the gallery speaks. Universe
Universal
Cafe. Yep.
and do it, please.
All right. So then,
The parks letter,
Is it
the
part-
one from the BP's office.
okay. Yeah, let me stop. Sure, and let me find that real quick. I know Debbie had questions about that. We just received this the other day. Arbor Day, I think it was.
Yes,
Yep.
Arbor Day.
Are we gonna get trees to plant?
No, it's not that.
I know.
Well, not here.
Sort of, yeah. I think the letter from the borough president's office is asking us to basically make a motion to support a bigger budget, right? To get to that 1% parks budget, but also to encourage more canopy coverage, more equitably distributed throughout the Bronx.
But
Something.
like I brought up in the email, is that, okay, they plant a tree, but then when somebody vandalizes it, it's taken 2 years to get replaced or anything done about it.
It's taking a while.
All right, so
Well, part of the
Okay.
reason because the budget is so nominal.
Yeah, but they're leaving a vandalized tree there for 2 years?
Yep.
Yeah, they are. They'll take down a tree that's dead, that stump will be there forever.
It took years for my neighbor to get a tree replanted.
Yeah, no, it
and
takes
From
forever.
a dead tree.
Yeah.
all right, so hold on. I'm almost there. I'm gonna put this under leadership.
Okay.
Let me share the screen again. So resolution, come on. Resolution.
The city makes.
It's really resolution advocating for increased tree plantings. And maintenance. How about that? For increased
Yes.
tree plantings and maintenance.
Didn't Cynthia mention something about budget?
Yes.
So I'll go very quickly. Reaching out for your partnership, critical effort impacts health, safety, environmental future. Urban forest plan must be equivocal in our demand for greater action. The city must commit to fully funding the Department of Parks with an investment of at least 1% in the fiscal year 2026 budget. Then it goes into the numbers about map trees and how Bronx Community Boards 1 and 2 have canopy coverage of only 14% and 8% respectively, falling well below the city's average of 22%. Long story short, I'm now calling on you, our Bronx Community Boards, to join with my office and our partners in issuing resolutions demanding the city make the necessary investment in our environment, our neighborhoods, and our future. Let's stand together to advocate for increased tree plantings and ensure the Bronx receives its fair share of this vital green infrastructure.
So then, based on what she said, how about we say resolution advocating for increased tree plantings and maintenance and an investment of at least 1% of the fiscal 2026 budget for the Parks Department.
That sounds good.
So that sound good, Rich?
He stepped
You
up,
have-
but yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
for us.
Sounds good to all of us.
All right. So I'm putting it as the second thing on the agenda for leadership. So we'll vote on that maybe next, after the gallery, right?
Yep.
All right, so move on from the agenda then, finally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let
go
me
to
share. So we
me.
go to calendars next.
Hey, let's make this one quick.
Are we doing both too?
Yeah.
2 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
May and June.
So let me go back to May. So transportation, education, DSC, parks. Debbie, can you confer with Janice like ASAP about parks? Or do you know already? Because I get complaints that we keep scheduling it, we keep canceling it, so we should just either schedule it or not schedule it to begin with.
I'll try to get an answer for you.
Okay. And then health on the 13th, executive board leadership on the 15th.
I think put bylaws with the 13th, right?
I can't do it. Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have a bylaw.
We have to have the bylaws meeting to, yeah.
So do you want to do bylaws first, or do you want to do?
Violas ran over last time.
Did it? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So make it. So maybe make health and social services 6.
Make health insurance, social services 6 and bylaws immediately following.
Yeah.
Generally, I probably won't be able to do that. I have stuff on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So 6 o'clock I can do, 7 o'clock and later I can't.
Well, they're not huge proposals this time, right?
I don't even know. What they
No,
are.
they're not.
It kind of depends on how the vote goes next week.
So we
have
can
to
try 6 o'clock
redo
again.
the-
But we will still have a quorum. If you're there, me, Joanne, that would be 3. And I don't know about Deanne.
Well, make
But
it. Flip
we
it,
have
make-
5
leave-
members, so we
leave-
have 3.
leave bylaws at 6. See what happens, and if they, yeah, try again. Because I think optimal participation.
So Ryan, you said you could make it at 6?
Yes.
All right, hopefully it won't run over.
Okay.
Oh, I was just informed to take park off.
Okay.
Let me do that.
Well, actually, maybe this is a good time for us to dive into the conversation we had earlier about committee meetings.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the conversations that took place in executive board and which has been discussed in prior meetings is that it's really important for our committees to work more collaboratively with one another. I know that sometimes committee members may not feel like they can provide input on an agenda items, maybe even goals for their committees. And there really should be open dialogue and opportunities to collaborate with each other. So, for example, if Parks is canceled, this might be a good opportunity to go back to what we've talked about before, is if there's no agenda, there's really nothing to discuss based on, what the chair and the co-chair have discussed. Maybe the committee can still have a meeting, a general meeting on a parks topic so that people can come with their concerns, their issues, their questions, instead of just canceling meetings because there isn't an agenda. I think,
Yeah, I agree, because, I mean, the public may have issues they want to bring up to a committee, but if there's no meeting being held, I mean, you didn't have a meeting last month either. right?
Yeah, but they're not even bringing it up to, they're not even bringing it up to Jeremy for him to even to relate to us. Oh, this one wants to talk about this one.
Yeah, but
If
it's
those
those
people-
I didn't bring it up in the
Those people-
gallery session.
If those people are not even reaching out, then we're gonna come here and be like,
Nobody's
we're
gonna.
gonna sit here and be like, okay, who's showing up?
We have did we have
Well,
the,
I think-
where people, you're saying that people should bring stuff to the committees and not to the full board, but if the committees aren't having meetings, how are they supposed to do that?
They can
Also, you
Hold
know,
on, Cynthia talking.
we as a board shouldn't have the expectation that the public comes to us. We should open the doors, you know, so that we're welcoming the public to us with their feedback and thoughts, instead of saying, well, if you have an issue, come to us. No, we're opening the doors.
So
Come
how
to
lo-
us.
How long would you want us to sit?
Right.
We come here,
Right.
volunteer our time and our sleep. Come here and sit and wait for, how long we're gonna wait for somebody to show up?
Yeah, I had the same question.
Ryan had the question. Ryan, there, Ryan.
Go ahead.
I mean, what Cindy proposed was to have some meeting on some parks time. I'll take parks as an example. Like, what do we have on parks? We've got the trash buildup on Bronx Park East, which I think sanitation has done some work on, but again, that's next to a park. Getting trash pickup, it's starting to be spring and summer, making sure that we get trash pickup, we got
Barbecues
compost.
to start happening.
We've got exactly the barbecues and the pickup. We've got the reconstruction on Bronx Park East. We've got all kinds of things that we can talk about in parks. We can come up with something to come and talk about, have a meeting. If no one shows up in the gallery and you have a 15-minute meeting, yeah, maybe you have a 15-minute meeting and everyone goes home. You have to come here, and I know that's work to get here and to go back, but
Garbage, first of all, that is sanitation,
not the garbage in the parks.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, go ahead.
but.
I'm saying that we can come up with a topic.
Right.
So then I'll interject, I'll say this, because this got me hot this morning for some reason. I was really mad. I was like,
Really?
yeah, because guys, it's 3 meetings a month. Show up. If not, resign. I'm tired. I'm gonna say this at the full board too. If you don't want to show up, don't be part of the committee, don't be part of the board. If not, delegate someone on your committee to show up. You don't have to show up all the time. It doesn't have to be chairs and co-chairs. It doesn't even have to be a committee. So someone could do someone a solid. I can't make it. Can you go to the community board room and run this meeting for me?
I think that I'm with, what I'm trying to understand, and what I think part of what Debbie's trying to understand is, if you don't have an agenda, you don't have trash, you don't have, right? I thought that's what was being discussed. Then you will come and wait to see if the public has a concern. And then if that's the case, then how long do you wait? Do you wait 15 minutes? Do you wait half an hour?
I think.
If you don't have an agenda item.
Yeah, okay, I think it's just normal, regular rules. It's 15 minutes and you're done. You don't wait an hour.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like-
not gonna
it's
wait
like
half
any-
an hour.
Any courtesy in any meeting, I think it's 15 minutes and you're done. And then I'll step up, I'll say this. Sandy always has an agenda item. She does her homework. I'm not saying we mandate that, but she does it, I think, the right way. She doesn't have a month without a topic.
So wait,
So I'm not mandating that. Hold on, let me finish. I'm not mandating that. I'm saying stick to a day, have someone show up. If you can't make it, make your co-chair go. If you can't, make someone.
So I come and I listen to this one telling me about trash and
Yep.
this one
Yep.
telling me about construction and whatnot.
That's
then you might have.
What do I like to do? We've reached out to, it.
No, then you have an agenda item.
But then it's on a record.
Wait, so wait.
The record.
So what
Go ahead.
you're saying is, this is the practical implication of what you're saying is, there's no cancel meetings. There has to be at least at a minimum a 15-minute meeting.
No.
I'm saying I think folks should
No.
try
Okay.
to hold as many meetings as they can, because the issue is every month meetings are canceled last minute. Transportation's canceled.
So here it is, when we're trying.
1 second.
Last
Allow
minute.
me to interject.
Yes,
Rich,
Go ahead.
to piggyback off of what you're saying. It reflects on us as a board. If we have one particular committee or 2 particular committees that are canceling meetings regularly. So if we don't have a Parks Committee meeting this month and we didn't have one the before, did we have one the month before?
I don't know.
That does, it just doesn't reflect well on us. We have a Parks Committee for what? So that we don't meet because, there's nothing to do with parks. I think, you know, the Parks Department has a good website that goes over all the current work being done on the different parks. We can always ask Parks Department to come and give us an update on something, on whatever
Just
project.
update us.
It doesn't matter. We have to do stuff every month. It's our job. This is insane to me that we're, it's literally insane to me that I have to beg for folks to come here every month and do their job. If you don't want to do your job, then resign. 1. 2, an easy escape, tag team with another committee. Make sure that'll ensure that someone's in the room. If you can't make it, I'll run parks. I don't care. Make it with housing. Right, that's my example. Go ahead.
And I gotta remember where I was going with that. No, I mean, so what you said, Debbie, about like, you know, what do we've heard about this, what do we do with it? I do think that that's something, somewhere where this board in general can do a little bit better, right? Like, we've heard about it. We can say something to the actual, to the agency, ask them to come in and respond, but we can also write and send letters on behalf of the board. We do that very rarely, and there's no reason not to. We can say that the community board supports something. Not everyone's going to support every motion. And put a couple forward that have one that's gone forward, one that is not. But that's one of the big powers that we have. We can say, this is something that's important to us, and send it to that agency, rather than just come in, talk to us. Oh, well, we don't have the staff, we don't have the funding, you know, this hangdog mentality that I feel like I get from every time I talk to an agency. I know what I'm going to hear when I tell them. I would like to send something proactively and say, this is what the community would like.
I think I agree with all of that. I'm just trying to understand, Rich. All right, what are you, and Cynthia, are we saying you cannot cancel more than 2 meetings?
We'll think about that. But having a calendar conversation right now going on, we're not gonna. No, I'm not picking on you. It's just that just happened. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, we're not gonna meet. That just I'm gonna. You know, maybe.
But you guys get mad when we tell you last minute.
He said, no, I hear you. So what I'm saying is, let's
Cancel meetings because there's nothing to talk about.
But let me.
But there is a lot of stuff to talk about.
There's so much stuff to do.
There's a lot
Right.
of
To
stuff.
Cynthia's point,
Or talk to the committee, talk to the rest of the committee.
I want you, she
And-
wants to talk to the committees first.
Something.
But that would, then these conversations would be null and void.
Transportation, we haven't had
I know, that's
meetings.
in my butt too. I know, yeah.
And not only did I write a letter to Anthony Perez,
Yeah.
but I wrote a letter to the committee,
I saw that.
and still no response, still no.
Maybe, so I think then if the,
I may,
go ahead, but Hazel was first.
So I think that there is enough going on in this community that we should always be meeting. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. I hear it all the time because people are always calling my office. Like when I used to have my housing meetings and I didn't have a quorum, that didn't mean that I was gonna cancel the meeting. I would still have a meeting. And because there was stuff that needed to be talked about, even though, you know, my committee members weren't there. Public safety.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that what's going on with public safety, so I'm so happy that we're joining. Right now, we have a deficit of police officers.
Yeah.
Where auxiliary can't even go out because they're constantly pulling their coordinator. Because there's no bodies to put in those cars. That's a big issue, and we should be like up in arms about that. So to Cynthia's point, I mean, and to your point, there should be no excuse unless, you know, unless it's like really something, you know, dramatic, why we're not having meetings. Why isn't, there's a lot of stuff going on in parks. Why isn't parks? And I agree with transportation. Sometimes we invite the MTA, well, like they couldn't come this month, so we, you know, we were expecting them to come.
So we want DOT, not MTA.
The DOT, so they're coming in May. But there's always something going on in this community that we need to be discussing.
So I think the reason that we have this problem is because of the fact that we keep talking to people's sentiments and to people's, like, you know, and that's where you have the problem. because your feelings and your sentiments are different than other people's
Mhm.
feelings and sentiments. And if you had a rule, then, then you would have people complying. If you said something like, you can't cancel more than 2 meetings in a row, then people would meet.
Yeah.
They cancel one meeting, the month after that.
Yeah.
If you keep talking about, well, you should,
Yeah.
talk to people, you should do that, you should do this, you're gonna have this problem forever.
Okay, so what do you propose?
And they cancel at the last minute too.
Yeah, the last, that's what drives me nuts, the last minute.
But I think,
I can,
Yeah, go ahead, you had next, sorry.
just to Hazel's point, public safety, when I was with public safety, we never had an agenda item, but we had meetings every month. We asked the police to come, they came, they gave the statistics, even if they couldn't come, we listened to the public. If there wasn't a quorum, we listened to the public because there was always someone there, whether it was virtually or whether it's here. The public had issues. So I think, like Hazel's saying, there's room for us to have meetings for the public. That's what they're there for. It's not for us, it's not to have guest speakers, it's to hear the public, hear what they need to say and.
I
address their
I don't mind hearing the public. I don't want to referee them.
Cynthia has
I
a.
don't want to referee them.
I think Naomi was next.
Naomi?
no, what I was gonna say is I think that, in the bylaws, it states that the committee needs to work together, or what it's trying to state to us, the committee has to work together, so I'm confused, what is going on with the committee? That you're canceling meetings, or what's going on? Is it just the co-chair and the chair monitoring the meeting, who are passionate about it? Is the committee not?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything otherwise. And like I said, I don't mind hearing the public out. I'm not refereeing them.
Right, but then you don't have to. Maybe you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
give that to a committee member.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, does the committee want to do this? And if the committee doesn't want to do it, maybe people have to change.
I just asked Janice, is there anything?
Are just you two?
Right,
No,
yeah.
it's how many people in your committee?
I don't know, 5.
We have the
Okay.
So I'm
So
trying.
that's my next issue, because we're at this picking of the dates. And I get it, I get why she reached out to Janice, but how fast can she get a response from her committee members on the date, right? So I think we're gonna have a time issue, because let's say they can't make it, and they can't make it, but what if one of the committee members can make it? So I don't, it could take them days to figure that out.
Yeah, like sometimes the rabbi can't make a meeting because, whatever.
Yeah.
And he'll call me and he'll tell me, I can't come in, can you run the meeting? And I'm like, all right, I'll run it.
But you're co-chairs.
I'm co-chair.
But Janice can't make it, neither can she.
Right, but like if I'm not gonna be here and he's not gonna be here, we depend on Debbie. Debbie, can you do it? And usually she says yes. So we have a good running committee.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
if a chairperson doesn't want to have a committee
Right.
meeting, that's no excuse not to have a meeting.
Right.
But DOT didn't have a meeting this month, right?
DOT did not show up, did not
You
appear.
guys had nothing to talk about, nothing? Streets are.
Hold on, can I interject on that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because to Debbie's defense here, or rabbis or Hazel's, the entire committee agreed not to have that meeting this month.
That's fine. I mean, that makes sense. So I think, Cynthia, go ahead. I think you had something to say, then I'm gonna close this.
Yes, I wanted to actually respond to Juan, because unfortunately, a few months ago, it came to our attention that there had been a bylaw amendment passed in like 2022 that said committees can meet only when there's business to conduct.
Right.
And I took issue with that, but the board, it was a thing that was voted on before I was ever even on the board, so it had to go into the bylaws. It's not something I agree with. I don't think it's appropriate, but maybe it's up to us to maybe qualify,
Change it, yeah.
More bylaws.
what's an acceptable number of cancellations of meetings or
You're good. We're driving you crazy, Sandy. I mean, I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna close this out because we're running out, we're past 8.
I think we have.
I think we do need to find a system. To Juan's point, I don't think we're gonna develop that right now. Maybe we can talk about it further at full board, but let's think about having a concise conversation at full board. But we do need to have change, because this year was nuts with the cancellations. And that's for whatever reason. We have it's less people here, folks aren't coming to meetings, and then, things happen. So, all right, that's that. Jeremy, anything else?
So what are we doing about, do you want to speak to the rest of the committee? Debbie, what are we doing about public parks?
I think leave parks where it's at. I'm sorry, Debbie. And then if anything, and
Well,
then,
I think at the very least consult or confer with your committee members or
leave
attempt
it
to.
up there, though. Leave it up there and she can confirm. If they can't make it, then you can remove it. But for now, leave it up there. That's what I want. On this calendar, I want all the meetings up there. And then if something happens later, we can remove it. But
All right, so parks 7,
yeah,
bylaws at 6, community development, or is there gonna be a joint meeting this month?
that's right. Yeah, it's me.
Well, the 7th is the
Wait, go back.
barbecue. The community barbecue.
So change. So the 7th should change then.
So we'll touch base with Alex.
Yeah, but change it anyway because he's gonna want to go to the barbecue.
Well, maybe his whole committee doesn't care and they want to meet that night. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
See, but let's err on the side of caution. But okay.
Well, let's
Going-
leave
I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All
All
right.
It's the big, I don't even wanna go.
I mean,
So I think let's have a blanket statement here. Does anyone have any problems with any of the dates up there? Instead of going one by one. Think we're good?
is Ryan still here? Community development?
Ryan?
I gotta talk to people. I don't have an opinion.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's unfair to leave it on the 7th.
So too, but.
Might try to put it in with transportation though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's always like 2
It's
nights.
always the third Wednesday.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah, I'll take care of the 7th with Alex. Don't worry about that, all right?
And while we're talking of the future.
Oh, I see.
When I brought it up last year, they were like, no, it's too soon. June, the fireworks, our full board,
Always, every year you mention it, you're right. You're right.
June removed. I'm giving the heads up now.
No, that's a good point. You always bring it up.
When is this fireworks?
It's always the same.
It's
So
the,
it's a Fox Thursday. of the
Yeah,
month.
that's what.
Yeah.
And by the time we decide, it's too late. Yeah, and we miss it.
I'm not a fan of
What happened?
fireworks, but that's okay.
He's here.
Rob,
Okay.
I don't know if Wendy or anybody else can hear you. I don't know if.
Wendy, can you hear us? Oh, we're done. It's fine. We're good.
Wendy, you can hear us? Give us a
I
thumbs-
hear you.
Here, it's okay.
All right.
Oh, our favorite person, Dave.
Yeah.
Luckily you had.
Hey, we know your hand's up, but if you wouldn't mind waiting to the
Yeah.
gallery, that'd be great.
And so I'll continue sharing.
I think let's go to June.
Okay.
So we're okay with May,
Yeah,
everybody's okay?
yeah, I think no
Right.
one's opposed to any of the dates. If anything changes, let Jeremy know after the fact.
Right, but June, she made a good point
So
about
no,
the
but June, we can
fireworks.
change that now. So go there.
Um,
Oh,
Yeah, so just.
Oh, transportation, we'll have to remove that.
yeah, make it the 9th.
Yeah, so let's talk to Rabbi. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and put it on the 9th.
Yeah,
Like-
you don't, because.
You don't even need a consult on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
But this is all tentative too, because we're gonna do this next month anyway.
Shavuos?
Shavuot.
Should put.
I thought in that wrong.
Shavuos, okay, I guess.
Sanitation with land use, Wendy?
Yeah. She's gonna win it. So take off housing from the 5th. I'm gonna go with land use every month, to be honest. It makes my life easier.
I think it's said Shavuos, but I never saw it spelled that way.
Yeah, I can't see, so I know. When is economic and.
I gotta put, oh yeah, here Juneteenth is there. Housing, land, sanitation. Economic, public safety.
It's not even.
So-
it's
So
counted.
this is obviously a problem here. June
Yes, it is.
19th.
Do you want to make it the 23rd?
That would be good, no, for everyone? Yes, no, maybe so. And do we want to get rid of the executive board meeting?
Not yet. Not yet. I think we need to talk about it. I would love to, but not yet. So do you guys want to move exec and leadership to the 23rd? Okay, let's just do it anyway.
Well, I mean,
Do a joint meeting of executive and leadership.
Yeah, I mean, that,
And then we can decide if we
Yeah.
want to just combine them later.
okay. So 7 o'clock start?
Yeah,
Okay, so
On what date?
23rd,
23rd.
That's a Monday.
yes.
I mean-
Thursday before is Juneteenth.
you want to do the same thing for May.
Sure, do it.
And remember, executive board is naturally part of the leadership committee, so
Yeah. It's.
The leadership and executive board.
When?
The 23rd.
Fucked up.
So when is the board?
That Thursday.
But that's,
I know, it's just we have no time because Juneteenth is that Thursday before.
but then I thought also that's the fireworks that you.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we have an issue. So, for June, go back to June.
so you know for a fact that fireworks is the 26th?
I think she knows the fourth thing, yeah, the fourth.
That's what I do, they get a change.
Can you look, can you Google it real quick?
I don't think they have that.
It has to, should be.
We can ask the VP's office. We can reach out to the VP's office.
For leadership.
Oh, we just having leadership.
Yeah, we're just having leadership exec together. So let's confirm with the BP, right? By, you know, and then if Kiara's there on Thursday, we'll press her.
So
Well,
according,
I'll email her in the meantime.
Okay.
for 2025, the fireworks will be every Thursday evening from June 24th to December 2nd around 9:45 PM.
So why was that date specific? Is it because there was a kickoff?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think it came from AI, so it may be.
No, because it's always only should be
Leaning towards.
on the fourth.
But she's right, every year.
No, she says it every year.
Every Thursday. I don't like AI, just for the record.
We're listening.
I told her I didn't like fireworks either.
Yeah, it just fools everything, so.
Shoot, I remember during COVID, we were WebExing from what to be.
I remember you brought the laptop. Yes,
Are we a gallery?
almost, I think.
Alright, so June 23rd, are we gonna leave it at June 23rd or?
Yeah, because it's the Juneteenth, we can't do the
Yeah,
Thursday.
but when are we gonna have the full board meeting?
For now, I'm gonna leave it there until we confirm with Kiara.
What they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they got to come in.
Are we moving on, Jeremy, down to gallery session?
Unless you got anything else, that's it for me for
I
the
think
day.
we're good for that. Let's open it up internally to the gallery session. Eric, are you gonna?
2 minutes.
Anybody inside wanna talk?
Anybody here?
Anybody here?
Oh, wait.
You don't got-
Yeah, Jamie Wan had some with the old business or?
No, not yet, we have to. All right, online gallery.
2 minutes, 30-second warning.
All right, 15 seconds.
What about what happened to Kay?
Who's first?
She's there.
Wait, don't we gotta unlock her?
Yeah, Kate.
She's locked. We gotta
Oh,
unlock.
yeah.
You gotta ask her.
Kate, do you wanna talk?
She can't answer you.
I know, I'm like.
Hands up or type
You
in the chat.
Can't you unlock
I
her?
can, okay.
Can you
Yeah,
unlock?
just, you could go up there and ask her to unmute, just click that.
Okay, yep. She's unmuted. She was unmuted.
Now you can't.
I call it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Oh, because it says I'm still muted, but
No,
I
you're
guess I'm not.
We can hear you.
A couple quick things. The fireworks you were talking about, it's always the last Thursday in June.
Thank you.
If it's the one at Orchard Beach. And a hot topic in the community, I live in a private house and I know a lot of people that own homes and live in private homes. A very hot topic right now is the composting. It's probably a matter for sanitation on that committee and stuff, but there's a lot of buzz. Most people don't like the composting rules now. I happen to be in favor of it. I wish my landlord would buy me a composting bin. I told him I'll do it because we have a nice garden here that he's fixing up and I could use the compost and then give some to other people. too. But it's just a lot of people don't like it and they're saying that on their day that sanitation is supposed to pick it up, it's not getting picked up. Just it's just a little FYI thing. I don't know if anybody has notified you guys. They're probably talking to their own community groups about it, but that seems to be a hot topic this week
Yeah, I'll
in the
get,
community.
I'll get him one. I'll get him one.
You heard
I
that, King
can't hear
Harry
you.
said he'll get you
I'm
one.
gonna get you one.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because when Christy was giving out the
It's a
small ones, I just couldn't get there that day.
But
I
that's for
wanted
the
to-
indoors, not the
10
outdoors.
seconds, I'll get him one, I'll get him one. I have a whole
The
bunch.
brown
Oh.
one, she could do 311.
Okay.
They don't give out the brown ones free anymore. The community.
Yeah, that's the thing. And my landlord was supposed to get one
I'm
over here, and he didn't.
Kay, this is
Uh-huh.
what we're trying to tell you. Harry's getting you a brown pail.
You
Don't
come to
worry.
get me with your address or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'll take it to you.
Okay.
But in
All
general, for anybody, they can come to the community board office. We were given stickers. You can buy any color
Thank you.
pail you want at
Oh,
any store and
Just
put
put a
the
sticker?
compost sticker on there.
It changes.
And compost, and compost is picked up on your recycle day.
Saturday.
Okay, Robert Press.
Whatever you-
Excellent. Thank you. Have a great night,
Press,
guys.
you're up next.
Can't use any bin for compost because it has a lock.
Yes,
Veronica,
no, it-
I'm not getting into it right now.
Veronica, can you unmute these people? I gotta step away for a second.
I just unmuted them. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
No, they do not have the ability to unmute themselves.
No, we sent the request to unmute.
There you go.
go.
Fine, I'm open.
There you go.
Oh.
I just want to say during the budget part of the joint meeting, I asked why no budget priorities came out of committees. I gave a suggestion to the budget committee with my experience as a former budget chair. And I was told, thank you, but we will do it our way. So I will give my other comments at the full board meeting. So Jeremy, please put me down on speakers list with other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Speaker. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to motions. Oh, yeah, let me see
That's
this
it?
guy. Yeah, we're almost there. All right, so I'm gonna fly through this, so just pay attention.
Alvin Simone's not on, right?
Oh, no. Mr. Simone? No, right?
I don't see him.
I don't see
Okay.
them.
No.
What's that?
Exact.
Universal Cafe.
Yes, that, let me see this.
I think he misunderstood. I think he's probably gonna be at the full board meeting.
You probably will.
What do you want?
Do you want to make the motion first?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
whenever you're ready.
Yes, so I move that we send a letter of no objection to the liquor authority to approve the full liquor license for Universe Cafe Inc.
Second.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any objections?
No.
Any abstentions? All right, motion passes.
So,
Jeremy's gonna draft
Jeremy,
the letter.
Harry, yes.
So, yeah, I have, I just kept it how it was, assuming that, yeah, so it's motion of, let me pull
No
up.
objection.
Yep,
Yeah.
no objection for Universe and J's.
I did.
I mean,
Okay.
did you want
Yeah.
to keep it separate on the agenda or separate at the meeting?
We don't need it to be on the agenda anymore, right? That was the.
Be
purpose.
as
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
discussion to let the full board know, but the motion today was to do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
The letter can go out, immediately.
Tomorrow. Yep, all right, tomorrow.
All right, next motion. I motion to approve signing on to the joint letter to the MTA regarding DeWitt Place Homes.
I said,
And the cleaning, isn't it cleaning up?
No, because the letter's a letter.
Okay.
So we got to,
Okay, Veronica second.
okay. Anyone oppose? Any abstentions? So moved. Okay, it's approved. What's this 1% I just wrote down? What is that for? We just-
Fire department.
Cynthia, you still there?
Yeah, I have it written.
Okay, can you say it?
You want me to share you with what I have written?
Yeah, please, so I can motion it.
Motion right here. Can you read that?
See,
Not really.
motion, okay, got it. Okay, so I'm gonna say it. Motion that Community Board 11 send a letter to the Borough President advocating for increased tree plantings and maintenance and an investment of at least 1% of the fiscal year 2026 budget for the City Parks Department. Any seconds?
I second.
Discussion,
Oh, you want to discuss?
just briefly.
Can you read that again?
Yeah, he had it up. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'll pull it back up.
I'm not, I retract yourself.
You see that, Cindy?
Go ahead.
No,
On my phone, it's tiny.
You want?
Also for
so I
the
can-
committee board.
I'll
to
put it in the
send
chat.
that To the
I'll put it in
borough.
the chat. I'll put it in the chat, Sandy.
she second, but we have a discussion.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When we're voting on these letters, and this has been brought up in the past, we really should have the letter to vote on. Not necessarily here, but at the full board, we should
Yeah,
have the letter
so-
drafted to vote on.
The beef with that is we have to help Jeremy write the letter.
Well, this one's pretty
No,
clear.
no, but let me say this because we do letters all the time, but it's always like, oh, Jeremy's gonna do the letter, and then 4 months, there's a letter, but no one helped Jeremy with the letter.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to help whoever's writing the letter. So,
I've helped Jeremy.
no, I know, we all have it past lives.
I was confused
No, I know.
about what at the app.
But so I agree with you, but we need to help because it's just, oh, yeah, he's gonna, no, we can't depend on staff for the letter. We need to stay on top of them.
Yeah, no, that's
Like-
on us. I agree.
Okay.
So I think this motion is just that we draft. it.
Yeah,
Then
we drafted it. Okay, all right.
Then after that, we have to
Cynthia has
have
two
it
hands
drafted.
up.
Cynthia, go ahead.
No, she was just
Okay.
saying, bowing, saying thank you.
That was agreed.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, anything else, Brian?
That's all I got.
Okay,
So my second sticks.
it sticks. Anyone opposed?
Rich, for this letter, I'll just say that I thank you for that, but I'll just say for this letter, it's pretty clear cut. It's
Yeah, but I also need you to speak up when people throw letters at you. Because everyone loses track, and I think you're being like, oh, that's my job, but we need to help you with that.
Do we need, if you're gonna draft
Yes,
the
yes.
letter, can you send it to the board so we're aware of what was sent?
Let me see what you have.
Yeah.
This is my.
Okay, so
I'll try to get it for the agenda for Thursday.
anyone abstaining?
No.
Anyone objecting? All right, so moved. All right, moving on. Old business. I have none. Anyone here? Anyone
We
online?
covered what I said about the amendment.
All right, new business. Any new business?
Yep.
No?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Our bylaws say that a principal elected official gets 5 minutes. And last month at the March meeting, and I know it's hard to stand up and say something to the borough president because we all,
The 22 minutes.
yeah, we all to some degree owe our position here to her. So in a way, I think it's really incumbent on the borough president and their office, but I'd just like to point out publicly on the record that we gave an elected official who's standing for election 20 minutes to speak. We kept Senator Rivera to 5 minutes. We kept Assemblyman Zakaro to 5 minutes.
I think she kind of supersedes.
No, but he's
Yeah, but-
saying that she's up for reelection.
She was sounding more like electioneering than it did.
I disagree 100% with that.
And that's fine. I think we're gonna agree and disagree, but I think so what, I think, guys, I think what we can do is we don't have to, excuse guys, we're almost there. We don't have to stay there. I think you should feel like you can leave. I think,
That's disrespectful.
no, I mean, it's up to you.
Can you,
I
if I
mean,
may,
go ahead, Sandy.
can you say, yes, you have the right to speak, we have a 5-minute.
We can tell her, yeah, but.
You gotta be respectful to your elected officials. Come on now, guys.
No, but what we're saying is that we don't want them to go on for 2 hours either.
We have the bylaws. We should abide by the bylaws.
Yeah, let them know.
No. I mean, it's debatable, but let's go on to something else.
So I think what we can do is like, if Pierre ever goes, and this is on the record, I'm saying this out loud, if Pierre goes, oh, the BP's coming, whoever that may be, we go, hey, listen, the rule's 5 minutes, just can you please watch it? I think we go, oh, okay, that's fine. And we stood, the meeting was over last month, and we stood there for it, which I think was like bewildering because we finished.
It's a level of respect, right, Rich? It's a level of respect.
I agree.
This is an elected official, and there's other people are representing their official.
Yes, I also agree, Wendy.
So it's a little bit different. You have to think about it logically, right?
And so I'm the one that's gotta tell it 30
So,
seconds.
yes, I mean, my question to that, we could have any number of elected officials. Do they all get Do they all get the same amount of time? If one of them comes
supposed to be
prepared
five
for
minutes.
5, if one of them
Oh,
comes.
that's exaggeration. You're not gonna have 10 elected officials coming to the meeting.
Yeah,
Guys, we're almost there. Let's focus, please. All right, let's focus.
That's the reason we have the rule. We have a 5-minute rule. If they want to hold a campaign event, they can hold a campaign event in our district.
Yeah.
If they want to come and talk for as long as they want, they can. They should come here and talk to people, and they should find a place to do that. Our meeting is not the place to do that. We have the rules, we have the bylaws for.
You had a lot of good information to say. It was fine.
I think the resolution here is just let's gently remind folks, there's a 5-minute rule and that's it, okay? Anything, okay,
And you read it in the conduct statement, no electioneering.
sure.
Buzz was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
electioneering.
Yeah, okay, anyone else, anything else? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, so moved. Meeting adjourned at 8:33 PM.
Great, this last 2 hours.
Yeah, we're off. Bye.